the best way to look at it is, our former president, Trump. I mean, love him or hate him, he had 7 business bankruptcies or whatever it was, whatever the number is, and, all of his assets were protected. That LLC that has the credit developed, pulling out a term loan or something, say, and lending it to another LLC, have your business attorney write up a loan agreement. The new LLC is paying the other one back with interest. So the first step, it's broken into 7 steps within our platform. So the first step is Andrew Cervenka. I'm a regional managing partner with Jay Galt, and what we do for the small to mid-sized businesses, is develop their corporation credit that is tied to the EIN. So you form an LLC, S Corp, C Corp. You create that legal person on paper with that tax ID number, that EIN, and it can have its own credit and an ability to sign for funding and financing on its own. The trick for small businesses is, how do they go about doing it? They are always so conditioned into signing personal guarantees for any type of funding that they need. You go to your bank, you go to the SBA. Yeah, your business is doing well and good, but I still want you to sign this personal guarantee, therefore putting all of your personal assets on the hook. Every major corporation in America does not do that. They're Walmarts of the world and Tesla and Amazon. The corporation, it's on another level, of course, but they're all building this credit tied to that EIN, the same thing that every small business owner has when they form that corporation. So we have the data and the analyst support to help that business owner build the credit that is tied to the EIN over a 10 to 12 month period. So then they can access funding, financing, vehicle, equipment purchasing, all that stuff can therefore be leveraged against the EIN.
Gotcha. And so those big companies like a Tesla, Walmart, do they keep that all in-house, or do they hire agencies like
they're on another level? So they have the fractional CFOs and everything. They have all that back end knowledge.
Okay.
But the trick with the small business owner is roughly 93% of the business accounts that they have, whether it's business credit cards, vendor accounts, about 93% do not report to the business credit bureaus. The Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, Equifax Business, those are the big 3 that a lot of this is built on top of, and that's where we operate in. So our software and data is based around utilizing current business expenses that they already have. Say they're paying for fuel or something. Let's connect them with a fuel card that works at any gas station, reports to all 3 bureaus. So it's taking the money they're already spending, having them spend it wiser to build this credit, to turn that entity into a grown-up where it doesn't need a co-signer, i.e. the business owner, to put their personal guarantee attached to it.
Right. So yeah, if they didn't pay back the loan, then the bank could come after personal assets.
Correct.
The owner has.
Yeah. I mean, the best way to look at it is, our former president, Trump. I mean, love him or hate him, he had 7 business bankruptcies or whatever it was, whatever the number is, and all of his assets were protected because he developed the credit for his corporations and had that complete separation. All of his things are not, or they're untouchable, essentially.
Right. Interesting. So yeah, if he went bankrupt, nobody could come after his stuff that he owns personally.
Yep.
So would he be buying like a lot of his stuff, like the jet, the cars and stuff, under a business name?
Under the business name, yeah. And a lot of business owners, I've got a business vehicle, it's in the business name. Yes, but when you signed that financing deal, you did put your personal guarantee, the signature down, your social security, what have you. And yes, it's probably not reporting to your personal credit until you do bad things and stop paying. That'll negatively affect you, but it's not helping you in any aspect by building your corporate credit.
Right. For a business, when like say I wanted to go buy like something super expensive, like a boat, $100,000 boat or something like that. If I have a personally good credit score, but the business doesn't, or the business has like no credit established because I just started it, could you still finance it, but then you'd have to co-sign it?
You would, you'd be signing your personal guarantee attached to it because, yes, as starting a new business, you've created this entity that doesn't have any credit because it has demonstrated its ability to repay things as reflected on those corporate credit bureaus. So the beautiful thing with business credit and corporate credit is it's trailing 12 months. So even a new entity, a new LLC created today 12 months from now, working with a program like ours would have the credit availability to itself to then refinance that boat out of your name and move it over to the business, because generally corporate credit to the lenders, is a lot stronger. The rates are generally better, and the credit limits available to an entity are roughly 10 to 20, 50 times larger than what you or I could sign for on a loan. So,
Okay. Huh. Interesting. So what are like the target market for your guys' company, like small to mid-sized businesses? But I know a lot of small businesses maybe just want to stay a small business and like they don't have that growth aspect in mind.
yeah, that's fine. I would say to that then, if you're not looking for growth, but you want to protect your assets, this would be the way to do it.
Okay.
If you want to stay at a $1 million revenue business, you're happy with that. Just getting the credit to there for the business for a rainy day. You can build it and not use it. Think of it like the ultimate insurance policy against another COVID or something like that came around. All these businesses were scrambling to get capital to keep the doors open, whether they couldn't be opened or not. But they're taking out loans and things that the EIDL loans and the PPP. I mean, PPP were forgiven. EIDLs were generally low rates, but like 30-year terms. I mean, do you really want to be paying out of business? Who's going to be in, besides yourself, who's going to be in business for 30 years?
Right.
You're into your 80s, 90s still paying off that loan. So getting it off of you, getting it out of your name is the whole goal. So it's the target markets for us realistically are any business that wants to grow. I mean, I work with real estate investors. I work with marketing companies. The trades are really a good one for us. The businesses with the high monthly expenditures. So construction companies, obviously, they're a lot of equipment and payroll and all those things on a monthly basis. High expenditures generally see the best bang for their buck when they're working with us. They're able to see a real high growth trajectory for their credit availability in the time working with us.
Okay. Gotcha. And I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but I was just thinking, like, personally, if you are buying business stuff on your credit card, is that tied in legally in any aspect too? If you're buying on a personal credit card for business expenses,
it's fine to do that. It's just when tax time comes around, making sure all your ducks are in a row and everything is reported, and what you're reporting to the IRS and everything. It's just that more time consuming of separating out receipts and making sure things are being paid from a business bank account. Say you bought something on a personal credit card, but it's for the business. Make sure you pay it from that dollar amount from the business account and not the personal account, because it's just intermingling of that. You're going to get your CPA just rolling their eyes.
Right.
Holy heck, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
A lot more work on their part.
Gotcha. And that's where Trump would maybe fall apart if he didn't have all those things in place.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any other like case studies, kind of like Trump, like where you could walk through how it really makes a difference to separate these things out?
Yeah. We have on our website, we're gathering more and more customer testimonials, and one of them from last year was a small company in I think it was Tennessee, a small construction company. They wanted to after working with us in our program after that 12-month period where the credit was developed, they went and purchased a new work van, all on the EIN from their local dealership at about 1.9%.
Oh wow.
Just last year. I mean, it was an incentive from Ford, but to qualify for that great rate, having that strong corporate credit was the thing that got them over the hump. And obviously not attached to them personally at that point,
right.
Totally in the business.
Huh. And so it's a lot lower interest rates for businesses?
The interest rates are always fluctuating, so
yeah,
I
right.
get pigeonholed into quoting something, but yeah, in that aspect, I mean, at the end of last year, we were seeing lines of credit on the corporate side of things, tied to the EIN only at under 5% still.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's definitely, when you have good credit, you're going to get the best rates, and having corporate credit is generally a stronger thing to look at than personal guarantees, personal credits.
Yeah. Does corporate credit go along the same guidelines as personal, like credit score wise, or is it a different scale?
It is a different scale. So business credit, corporate credit is scaled 0 to 100. But there are 4 tiers to that. So you could have an 80 at tier 1, but all that's going to do is graduate you into more revolving accounts at tier 2. And where we walk a business owner through in the 12-month process is going from wherever they're at. Generally, it's not much when they come to us.
Credit, yeah.
No business credit, really. But we'll get them to the tier 4 and 80 plus scores, which is then graduates from business to corporate credit, where it's no longer a personal guarantee, because business credit cards, they're in the business name, but they all have a personal guarantee attached to it. When you get the credit developed for the business, you graduate to corporate credit, where it's under the corporation only. It just has the business name on there, and maybe a user name on there, authorized user, but it's tied to the EIN only, and it says corporate on there, not business anymore.
Okay, gotcha. I'm thinking about Trump still. I want to learn more about him. Like, how did he intermingle like stuff to not allow? Because he declared bankruptcy like so many times. How do you intermingle like buying stuff with the businesses? Because like, say the business declares bankruptcy, wouldn't you have to get rid of all the assets?
Yeah, that's all in that. But I mean, you could turn around then, and one of his other corporations could buy up all those assets from the bank. After the corporation is bankruptcy. I mean, it's not as, I mean, it sounds glamorous, but it's not just, declare bankruptcy and the business is gone. I mean, there's a lengthy process there, but you go through that process, your assets are protected, your personal assets are protected.
Gotcha.
And with that, I mean, you just wake up the next day, start a new corporation, start the process over again, because it's a new legal person on paper and you're creating a whole separate entity.
Huh. Do you think he's that smart, or do you think he has a team around him that's that good?
I'm sure he's that smart, but he's obviously not focused on the process. He's got experts doing this for him,
right?
That know all this process and stuff. So it's the strategy used by every company listed on Wall Street, on NASDAQ, and we're bringing this knowledge down to the small business owner, that it is available and can be done.
Right. Yeah. Before talking to Tony, I didn't even think about it, that it's a big hurdle for businesses to get loans and not get them at like a huge rate, because obviously like small business loans and stuff, when you first start out, they're like 10% of something ridiculous, because you have nothing established. You're a brand new company. Yep. There's a ton of risk on your hands on the bank side of things looking at you. They're like, well, you don't even know if you're going to succeed, because so many businesses don't succeed. But I get where it comes into play, like where you need to build that credit, you need to build it. And now you're going to start getting that reward of getting the rates lower, being able to lend more from the bank.
Yep.
It really comes back at you to help you in the long run. And that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah, for sure. And another key aspect to it is, I talked about real estate investors. They have a lot of them, if they're smart, have it separated out where the properties are each housed in their own LLC. Well, you have 10 properties, 10 LLCs. You develop the credit of a couple of those, say 3 or 4 of them. Businesses lend business money all the time. So these investors that get to 10, 15 properties and are struggling to get more capital to continue to grow, because their personal credit and their equity is all tied up in the deals they already have, where they can't tackle the next project. You got 3, 4 LLCs plus you sitting in a room, and you've just created your own investment group essentially to tackle bigger projects, where or bigger deals, or buy that apartment complex instead of just a duplex or something like that. So it's definitely a fantastic growth strategy.
Gotcha. So how would it work, where you could borrow from the other LLC, or fund something from that?
Yeah. So it would be that LLC that has the credit developed, pulling out a term loan or something, say, and lending it to another LLC. Have your business attorney write up a loan agreement. The new LLC is paying the other one back with interest, and it's a fantastic strategy.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah, to intertwine it like that, and then you're working with yourself. You're paying yourself.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Very interesting. What's something that you worked on recently, like a project that was super interesting, or a company that you worked with?
Working with hopefully get it across the line here shortly, but a private equity firm. Talking north of 1,000. So at our core, we're a software platform. So software as a service, SaaS is commonly referred to. That's where the credit building is housed. That's where all the data is, with all the vendors that are reporting the stuff. They're looking at a deal of roughly 5,000 licenses for our software over the next 4 to 5 years. So I mean, that's that right there outlines the fact that our data is that powerful, that a private equity firm is looking to invest that amount of money with us to launch all their because when they buy a business, they take about 70% equity hold of the business.
Okay.
And they want those things to launch and, grow as quickly as possible. So
Uh-huh.
developing the credit of these businesses is going to put each one on the best path forward for growth.
Wow, very interesting. So they're trying to onboard you to a bunch of their projects.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Huh. What is like the pay structure for you guys? Is it like just a project base, or is it like a monthly recurring payment that companies make?
There's a couple different ways to chop it up. I mean, depending upon the service level, there's two different levels. A 1-year program, which is just one of our analysts gets assigned to the business. They get access to our platform. The analyst is walking them through the process. That's just a 1-year program. I don't want to quote pricing because it's ever changing. That's recorded, but it's generally just a one-time upfront fee.
Okay.
For that program. The larger program, currently, we still have a lifetime agreement where we're helping the business. So it's the credit building, the platform with the analyst help, annual business valuations, cash flow mapping and expense control analysis, access to partners of ours, like a payroll company that reports to the bureaus, a merchant processor that reports to the bureaus. And that one's a little bit higher, not out of the realm, but we do chop that up into either a lump sum payment or it can be a monthly kind of thing.
Okay. And then the enterprise level, like the private equity, would just be ridiculous.
That's a whole other ball.
Yeah, because that's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of different projects in one
For sure.
type of thing.
Mhm.
Huh. Very interesting. There's a lot going on at the company then, for sure.
Yeah.
A bunch of different moving parts.
Mhm. Yep.
Huh. What kind of got you into this industry?
So I was a territory sales manager for a company out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, for the last 10 years prior to coming to Galt, covering the Midwest. Dealing with a lot of small businesses, distributors, e-commerce players, and that required travel. I was gone Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, every week in hotels, and I've got a wife, I've got 2 small children.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to look for other opportunities. And I in the summer of 22, I put my resume together, put it out on the job boards, started looking at other opportunities, and came across Galt. They actually pinged me in an email saying, "Hey, we saw your resume. We'd love to have a talk." I ignored it for 2 days. I looked at it and then I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I see an offer for an interview? So I went back and started digging into their process and everything, and it just opened my eyes. I mean, like this is not common knowledge. I mean, I never had owned a business, so my father was a business owner, but way up north Wisconsin, this is a whole different scale, whole different realm. When I started learning about this, I'm like, yeah, I want to be part of that. A, because the benefit that every small business owner can see from this, and B, there's nobody out there doing what we do. So being the new kid on the block, sharing all this information with people that have been in business for 30 years. That spoke to me and very attractive to get all these people on the right path. And first and foremost, is education. Because what I've talked about today is a lot of new information for many business owners that this is achievable and can be done.
Yeah,
and it was really just a no-brainer. So in December of 22, I made the move from my old position to this, and haven't looked back since. It's been a great decision.
Huh. Awesome. Yeah. So you on your end of things, mostly are educating people and clients.
In the beginning, yeah, because it is a new concept. So the first meeting is learning about their business, explaining what we do and how it can help them, figuring out if it's a good fit for us to work together, for them to secure assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, so it's never I'm never the pushy sales guy, because I know what we have is so powerful. I mean, with the PE firm wanting our data at that scale, I mean, that just proves my point that what we have is needed by every business owner.
Totally. Yeah. And what kind of helps businesses? We don't want to give away like all your stuff that you guys kind of work at, but what kind of helps businesses get to that next level of building the credit? Do you get them on credit cards right away? Is it
depending upon where they're at? So the first step, it's broken into 7 steps within our platform. So the first step is working with our analysts to go through the 125 data points that matter to the business's credibility and fundability on paper. I mean, a small business owner starts a business and they're, okay, so we have it registered to a P.O. box. We're doing this, we're doing that. Well, a P.O. box doesn't fly in the eyes of corporate lenders, so that's a red flag for fraud. So we have get them to get it registered to a physical address. And then having a professional website is one. Utilizing a professional email at Gmail at Yahoo doesn't fly. You have to have professional. So it's looking credible and fundable on paper.
Gotcha.
And, there's a myriad of other things, 125, like I said. And that's the foundation, setting the foundation. And then step 2 is helping them get their profiles set up with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, Equifax Business. Dun & Bradstreet will give you a portal as soon as you incorporate, but you want to make sure to go in there, make sure everything's correct, address is correct, all that stuff. Experian Business, Equifax Business don't know you exist until you tell them you exist. So it's getting those profiles set up to capture that payment data. And then step 3 to 7 is navigating through the tiers of building that credit. Tier 1 vendors are a lot of net accounts. Some commonly referred to trade lines are Uline and Granger, things like that. But then tier 2, 3, 4, it just starts opening up more revolving accounts, business credit cards, Quick Trips in there. Costco's in there, Amazon Business are some common ones. I mean, tangible things that a business owner can utilize their expenses with and have the benefit of building that credit. So like I said, it's just realigning how they're paying for things already to reap the rewards of building the credit.
Right, yeah, because like right now, like I'm just paying for everything with a personal credit card. I'm not building any business credit. Gotcha. For like the first couple steps, like you said, like a better website, the physical address thing, do you guys give them that information? Do you kind of branch bridges to like be like, here's a good website designer that we work with?
Yeah, we have a lot of resources in-house, that we're connected to, referral partners, affiliate partners, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
So we can definitely guide them and direct them to these things. Obviously, we're not going to tell them they have to utilize this one or that one, but we have partners available if they need a direction to go.
This topic that we're talking about, like the business credit, I learned about affiliate like 2 weeks ago from my girlfriend. I have no idea. Like it's a whole new world that like just opens up your mind because like everything's affiliate.
Yeah.
Like you Google the top 10 toothpaste on Google and the top 10 publishers are just all affiliates that are making money off.
Yeah. Just
that top 10 thing.
Doing that affiliate marketing.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like I would have never known that. Same thing with like you were saying with the real estate people, like that they can fund their other jobs by grabbing credit from one LLC and lending it to the other. Like that's just crazy, and it just opens up a whole new world of thought and more confusion, but also more opportunities.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
which is super interesting.
Yeah.
Let's get into these few last questions. We'll wrap it up. I want to ask some quick questions. You have nothing to do with business. So, favorite restaurant in the area?
Oh boy, no, that's a tough one. There are so many great ones around Lake Country.
Oh yeah, there's so many good ones.
Oh boy, Smoke on the Water is great.
Okay.
Okachi,
yeah.
Well, it's at the barbecue place on Stone Bank area. Oh shoot, why am I blanking? Boondocks.
Okay.
Boondocks is great. My wife and I enjoy to go out for fish fries. So Stoll's Old 109 in Lebanon.
I haven't been.
They also own Hog Alley on Nagawicca.
Okay.
Or what's not Nagawicca?
Namaben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so same owners there, but their fish fries are fantastic.
I'll have to check that out. I've never been there.
Yeah.
Favorite summer activity?
Golf.
Golfing?
Yeah.
We'll add another question on favorite course then.
Oh, geez. I tend to play, my buddies and I get together. I don't get out as much as I used to, with the young kids and everything. But I like to, go to Songbird.
Okay.
And play there. I'll be playing Kettle Hills tomorrow with some partners of mine.
Nice.
But I know Wisconsin's like one of the top golf destinations.
You'd never believe that, right? Like living here, we take it for granted. Like I don't even think about it.
I mean, there are so many courses that I don't even know.
Yeah.
I've never played, and then it's just I rely on my buddies that are in the area to tell me where to go play.
Yeah. So. I've never been to like Kettle Hills. It's right up the street from me. Ironwood. I've never been there.
Ironwood's great. Yeah,
I've heard that's good.
They're kind of known as the outing course. Like
nicer.
We're gonna play there tomorrow, but they have a golf event and outing. All day tomorrow. Starts at 9 a.m. So.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great course.
And so many. Even Erin Hills is like right up the road from me. And like I would have never thought of it. Like, there was blimps going over and stuff for the PGA, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like I don't even know there was a course there.
Yeah. You guys should have rented a room for that. You guys made bank.
I know, yeah. That's what everyone's saying for that Republican like convention or whatever.
That's true, yeah.
I heard people are like renting other places for ridiculous in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that PGA thing. That's funny. I like to golf too. We go to this Fairways of Woodside, like right up the road.
Okay.
You might have passed on the way.
Yeah, I did actually, yep.
Yeah, that place is so close.
Public?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, super fun course. It's literally like walking distance from me, so
right.
it works real good.
Not bad, yep.
All right, let me think of another question. Where'd you go to college, or did you go to college?
I went to, I went to a tech school up in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Funny enough, I started out in auto mechanics.
Okay.
Just a long sales career and shifting and moving. So my last career was truck accessories, vehicle accessories. The company out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So kind of the automotive industry. So I was attached to the automotive industry since 2006 when I graduated tech school, and I've been working in that, and then made the pivot to Jay Galt here now.
Gotcha. One of my dad's buddies works for Truck Seat. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're like an accessories company. Were they a competitor?
Competition, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, sorta. I mean, we didn't really dabble in the tonneau cover space.
Yeah.
But, I saw them around a lot at different things. Al Tim was the rep. So you do events and stuff. You get to know the competitors, and I mean, you still don't have a beer with them. So I mean, at the end of the day, they're not really competitors. So.
Right. Yeah, they're in the same space as you, but they're all cool guys, I'm sure, for sure. All right. Well, what advice do you have for somebody maybe that's looking to get into your industry, or maybe a business owner that's looking to like grow?
Definitely sit down with me. I mean, I love sharing the information. I mean, there are actionable steps I can direct you towards working towards this. If you do not want our full help and everything, I can at least set you on the right path, give you the idea about this and what it can do for your business. But I mean, making sure you have your professional website, professional email. A really weird one out there of all those 125 points is registering your business phone number with 411. That's still a thing, and it's still in the underwriting of some of these accounts where they'll give you an automatic denial because it's a red flag that you don't have a legitimate business phone number.
Huh.
So
how do you do that? I've never even heard of it.
411 was the old directory. So you need to call Tony's Pizza. You dial 411 on your rotary phone and say, hey, give me Tony's Pizza's phone number. And so it's a phone registry essentially, and it's a website now. So you just go to their website, register. But it has to be voice over IP doesn't work. Cell phones don't work. So you get Spectrum to hook you up with a landline number for $8 a month. And then just forward the phone and all those calls to your cell phone in case somebody calls it. But it's just that, again, those legitimacy factors of the business, that it is credible and fundable on paper.
Gotcha. I haven't even looked into changing. I just have all Gmails for my businesses right now. I'm a small business guy, so I haven't changed anything. But I don't know how to do that too. Do you know how to change all that stuff?
So do you have a website?
Yeah.
How'd you get it built? Just GoDaddy? Or
I think the domains I bought on GoDaddy, and then like one of them Square, one of them is Shopify, and then one of them just like the Google My Business like site.
Generally, when you register a domain, the option is there in that website. Like on GoDaddy, I know you can then set up the professional email right there.
Oh, okay.
Because you own that domain. Whatever your www dot is, then it's just at that. So it's right there. I think I don't know. GoDaddy, I don't know if it's like another couple bucks.
Yeah, like $10 a year or something like that.
On that email.
Huh.
It's like hosted through Outlook or Gmail or something. So it's not anything too confusing.
Okay, gotcha. I'll have to look into that. And where can people find you if they want to check you out? Or
they can find me on LinkedIn, Andrew Cervenka. That's Cervenka. That's the main one. Our website is www.jgalt.io/A Cervenka is my site. You can find me on Facebook. Those are kind of the main ones. Or reach out via phone. My cell phone's always on me, 715-663-0404.
Love it.